What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. It is tier list season, baby. When is it not tier list season? Come on, let's go. We're going to talk about the tier set bonuses that are coming into season 2. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to make a series of videos covering the tanks today. We're going to do healers, then we're going to do DPS. There's going to be 3 different videos. If I did all one video, it'd be like an hour long. Because I want to talk about each tier set bonus coming into season 2, the Undermine patch 11.1, and I'm going to break down why they're good, why they're bad. We're going to rate them on a tier list maker thing here. I've got them ready to go right here. And I want feedback from you guys, and I want you guys to give feedback to Blizzard because they've actually asked for it. You know, they want us to make feedback posts, provide the class specialization, all that kind of stuff. So they're giving the information to us really early on so that we can have videos like this, so that we can all talk about it in the comments, so that they'll see the feedback and we can give feedback on the official forum. So if you're frustrated with some of the tier set bonuses that are going to be coming into season 2, make your voice known, okay? Talk about it. And that's what this video is for. I'm here to generate discussion, okay? So I'm going to give you my 2 cents about where I think the tanks are going to land on this tier list. You might disagree with me. That's fine. Let's talk about it down below and let Blizzard know what you think as well, so that we can actually have, like, you know, some good tier sets coming into season 2, okay? Yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I gotta get some coffee. Bye. Let's start with Blood DK. I'm gonna go over all of these, and I'm gonna rank them at the very end. So we'll bring out the tier list maker. I'll probably do it as I go, but we'll do the full one at the end. Blood DK. Just so we're all really clear, there's this new system coming in. This, like, all the 2-piece bonuses are basically the same, okay? They're going to give you this keyword, okay? So the keywords are jackpot, luck of the draw, winning streak, and insurance. For tanks, the only keyword you're going to get is luck of the draw. And that only really applies on your 2-set bonus. And I'll give you a spoiler. Every 2-set bonus for the tanks is virtually the same, okay? They're all very good, but they're all basically the same. Okay. Each time you take damage, you have a chance to activate luck of the draw. That's your, like, keyword. Causing you to cast survival instincts. That's not what it is. You're probably going to get vampiric blood. That is what I'm, like, 100% sure you're going to get. It's either that or Icebound Fortitude, but let's assume for now you're going to get vampiric blood, okay? So this gives you 30% more max health and increases your healing received. This is the best cooldown for Blood DK, right? Whenever you take damage, you have a chance to proc vampiric blood for 4 seconds. I think this should be longer. You're going to hear me say this a lot in this video. I think this 4 seconds is too low. It should be 5, maybe 6. I think 4, unless luck of the draw is proccing like every 10 to 15 seconds, then this is fine. If luck of the draw is only proccing on average every 30 seconds to like a minute, then the proc duration needs to be longer, okay? Getting vampiric blood is very significant for Blood DK, and here's why, okay? Vampiric blood, when it's over, procs umbilicus. After vampiric blood expires, you absorb damage equal to 5 times the damage your blood plague dealt during vampiric blood. Imagine if you're getting like a little mini umbilicus every single time you get this mini vampiric blood proc. That would be crazy, right? I think that's actually pretty good, but we're not sure if it's going to work that way. I don't know. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume that most of the talent interactions that we're hoping will work will actually work, okay? Just so take that with a grain of salt, but that's what I'm hoping for, okay? So the 2-piece bonus, in my opinion, is actually pretty good. Getting vampiric blood increases our healing, increases our maximum health. That's very good. We could potentially be getting little mini umbilicus procs once that vampiric blood ends, okay? I think at the very beginning here, at the outset, that's pretty good for a 2-piece bonus. For the 4-piece bonus, it says luck of the draw. So whenever you take damage and you get the proc of vampiric blood, that now is going to last for 2 seconds longer. So there you go. Kind of solved my original issue. Now it lasts for 6 seconds. You get vampiric blood for 6 seconds. That's pretty good. While luck of the draw is active, Death Strike costs 2 less runic power. Very curious. And can strike up to 2 additional nearby enemies. Here's my problem with this. First of all, Deathstrike costs like 40 runic power, right? It's 45, but you're going to reduce that by 5 right here. So it's 40 on average. There's other things that reduce the cost of Deathstrike. Let's just say it's 40 on average, okay, for the sake of argument. Reducing that by 2 is like terrible, right? That's basically nothing. Anytime you get runic power cost reduction, I'm all for it. That's a good thing. But 2 is like really bad. It's got to be at least 5, I would say, for that to be actually meaningful. Okay. And then the second part of the 4-piece bonus is really bad. Okay. Deathstrike hitting up to 2 nearby additional enemies. The only thing that actually does in my mind is extra damage. And in a raid boss fight, it does nothing. This literally does nothing on a raid boss because there's no extra targets on average, right? In a raid boss fight. Here's what I'm not sure about yet. When you press Deathstrike, you don't heal based on the damage that the Deathstrike did, right? If that was the case, this tier set bonus would immediately be better because you'd do like 3 Deathstrikes. They'd each be doing damage and they would each heal you. That's not how it works. When you press Deathstrike, you get healed based on the damage that you took in the last 5 seconds. It doesn't matter how much damage the Deathstrike itself actually does. Okay, so to me, this is a very tough like bonus here. Now, if this bonus procs 3 individual Deathstrikes that each heal you based on the damage you took in the last 5 seconds, then it's very good because you're getting triple the healing per Deathstrike, right? Because if it works that way, but to me, it doesn't say explicitly that it works that way. Your Deathstrike can strike up to 2 additional nearby enemies. Does that mean it's going to proc the extra healing effect as well from like the initial Deathstrike? Like, I don't know if it's going to actually do that. Are we just getting extra damage or is it actually healing? So I actually don't know what's going on here. And also the fact that it really does absolutely nothing against a raid boss to me means that this needs some work still. So I'm putting it here. I really think this needs some work. There's just way too much that feels bad to me, especially the raid implications. I think it's really bad in raid. Getting a vampiric blood proc sounds great. Potentially getting umbilicus sounds really good. That would put it like up here. But the fact that this bonus procs extra Deathstrikes, which may or may not heal you, they might only proc the damage portion of Deathstrike, and it does nothing in raid, that makes me pretty wary about this tier bonus. Okay, that's where Blood DK goes. Vengeance Demon Hunter. Each time you take damage, you have a chance to activate Luck of the Draw. Got it. Causing you to cast Metamorphosis for 4 seconds. Once again, should be 5 or 6, depending on the proc rate of Luck of the Draw. If it's like every 10 seconds, then 4-second meta is fine. Meta is insane for Demon Hunter, right? Meta is really good for Vengeance Demon Hunter. Let's look at Felsguard. There's a couple of implications here. First of all, meta gives you 40% of your maximum health. Okay, you get increases your current health by 40% and then heals you for that amount and then gives you 200% more armor. So it's really good. Like, it is the foundation of what makes Vengeance DH good is meta, right? That's what it is. So getting meta is very, very good. Then your damage goes up by 15%. All the tanks have that. So I'm just going to always ignore this part of it. The 4-piece bonus, the hunt has a high chance to refresh its cooldown when you gain Luck of the Draw. So here's how this works. You hunt into a pack. You get the 25% leech, basically, or 25% of the damage you deal turns into healing. Then you start taking damage. You activate Luck of the Draw. You pop meta. You get a bunch of health and a bunch of armor, and it refreshes hunt, potentially. It has a high chance to refresh hunt when you take that damage and proc meta. And then you hunt again, and you keep doing it. So potentially the 25% of the damage you deal heals you portion of the hunt could be active like all the time. Like, it might be literally permanent uptime on a boss. So this could be really strong. I think the main part of this that's good is getting meta for 4 seconds. And again, it depends how often Luck of the Draw is proccing. The hunt portion of it is good, but certainly not quite as good, in my opinion, as the meta portion of it. But I still think this is good. And I'm going to end up putting it up here. It could go higher potentially, It just depends to me on how often the hunt is procking, because again, it has a high chance to proc, which is good. High chance means it's going to be happening a lot, but this entire tier set bonus is really dependent on getting that meta proc and then also getting a hunt proc. So like you have 2 procs you have to get consistently, I would say, to make this quite good. For now, I think this is a good tier set bonus. The way that I'm reading it, it's good. Getting meta, getting the hunt back, those are good things. It's not the best tier set bonus for tanks, but it's a good one. Okay, let's go to Guardian Druid. 2-piece bonus. Each time you take damage, luck of the draw, causing you to cast Survival Instincts for 4 seconds. Again, should be 5. Your damage on increased by 15%. So Survival Instincts is good. That's a 50% DR for Guardian Druid. Unfortunately, there is no real synergizing talents here. Survival Instincts, there's one on the class tree, which is Matted Fur, but on the spec tree, there's no like synergistic talents in the sense that like when you activate Survival Instincts, you get something else. That doesn't exist on the spec tree. It does exist on the class tree, which is with Matted Fur. I don't know if it's going to proc. We'll have to see. This says when you use Survival Instincts, you get an extra shield. This basically says you're proccing Survival Instincts, right? It does say it causes you to cast Survival Instincts. So it sounds like it's going to be you using the spell, which is great. That means you'll get a Matted Fur proc, I would assume. Okay. Then let's go to the 4-piece bonus, which I think is so interesting. After you gain luck of the draw, your next 10 Druid abilities cast another Druid ability at 125% effectiveness. So it's actually, they're more effective. So this is a complete wild card, right? This is a long form of Convoke, right? Where you press Thrash and it casts Regrowth. You press Maul and it casts Thrash. You press Moonfire and it casts another Moonfire. I don't know what abilities are on this list. Can it cast Lunar Beam, right? Could it cast an additional Lunar Beam for you as an Elun's Chosen Guardian Druid? That would be nuts, right? Can it cast Thrash? If it can cast Thrash, you could have Flashing Claws, get an additional stack of Thrash going. Can it cast Raise? Can it cast Maul? Is it going to cast Survival Instincts? Is it going to cast Iron Fur? We literally don't know. One really cool potential synergy here is you taking Convoke yourself. You get a proc of this, and then you cast Convoke. It's going to cast 16 Druid spells, and then you're going to cast 10 additional Druid spells. You're just going to be wigging out as a Druid. You're going to have this crazy Druid. He's just dancing on the dance floor, casting 500 different spells, and they're all just spitting out of him like a machine gun. I mean, there could be something there. This is really just unknown, right? We don't know what Druid abilities you're going to cast. If it primarily casts Guardian Druid abilities like Raise and Maul and Survival Instincts and Moonfire and maybe Lunar Beam, like if it actually can do that, then it's really, really strong. If it can't do that, if it's going to be like Regrowth, Rejuvenation, potentially like a Swiftman, just like Convoke does, the way that Convoke does it, then it's probably a lot worse because it's completely random. So your entire 4 set is completely random, right? Which could be pretty bad. So here's where I'm going to put Guardian Druid for now. I'm going to put it at unsure. I'm completely unsure about how this is. It could potentially be like, it could be like a meh, sort of a meh tier set bonus. You're getting Survival Instincts, which is good, but every tank is getting their major defensive cooldown, okay? So it's nothing special. This is completely random as a 4 set bonus. So that is very scary. I'm going to put it right now in the meh/unsure category. I think it might need work. It could go down here, but right now we don't know about what abilities can get cast from this tier set bonus. So once we find out what abilities can get cast, this could go right up to here, right? But for now we don't know. So it's going to go there. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to Monk. Brewmaster Monk. Each time you take damage, luck of the draw, casting Fortifying Brew. Excuse me. For 6 seconds. This is really good. So Fortifying Brew has a long cooldown for Brewmaster Monk, right? And I gotta spell fort correctly. There we go. It has a 6-minute cooldown. You can reduce that with Expeditious fortification. However, you could also take Iron Shell Brew and make Fort Brew better, and then when you proc Fort Brew, it's better, right? So right now it gives you 20% of your max HP and 20% reduced damage taken. That goes up to 30 and 30. So potentially when you get the Fortifying Brew proc for 6 seconds, you could be getting like a 30% max health, 30%, you know, if it synergizes and works with the talents there. So there's a potential synergy there. There's a potential push to take Iron Shell Brew instead of Expeditious Fortification. You could also, of course, take Fortifying Brew Determination, which gives you more stagger effectiveness. And if this is proccing all the time, then your stagger effectiveness could be like way stronger. That could be really good. I don't know. I don't think anybody takes this talent right now. Maybe in Raid. And then there's other synergies on the hero talent tree. For example, you've got Fortifying Brew applies Chi Cocoon, absorbing a bunch of damage. So every time you proc Fortifying Brew, is it going to apply Chi Cocoon? I don't. If it does, that's also very strong. And then Shadow Pan, I believe, has Vigilant Watch. Oh, no, that's the Blackout Kick part of it. Yeah, there's nothing for 4 brew. Yeah, okay. So let's get to the 4-piece bonus. The 2-piece bonus is good, has some potential implications with your talent tree, okay? The 4-piece bonus says when you gain Luck of the Draw, your next 2 casts of Blackout Kick deal 150% increased damage and incur a 2-second reduced cooldown. I just want to show you this in game for a second because this is potentially really insane. So your Blackout Kick is a 4-second cooldown baseline. I have a lot of haste on this character because I'm primarily a Mistweaver. So let's say you don't have that much haste. Your Blackout Kick would probably go down. Actually, no, it's not even in green. It's not a green ability. Forget everything I just said. Blackout Kick is a 4-second cooldown. This bonus is saying your next 2 Blackout Kicks do more damage and incur a 2-second reduced cooldown. So, like, you're now going to have a 2-second Blackout Kick, which is really, really good when you look at all the talents that Blackout Kick interacts with, right? Blackout Kick. Look at this. Look at this right now. Blackout Kick reduces your stagger by 55,000. Blackout Kick does more damage and increases the damage of Keg Smash. Blackout Kick strikes 2 additional enemies and does more damage. Very, very good. Blackout Kick is a chance to give you a healing sphere. So you get more healing spheres potentially, right? Blackout Kick does a bunch of extra fire damage. Ignite when you have Charred Passions. Blackout Kick gives you a stack of Elusive Brawler when it crits. So you have more Blackout Kicks, potentially more critting. And then there's, of course, Blackout Combo, which is something I don't think ever really gets used, but maybe you would use this now because a 2-second Blackout Kick, it'd be like Blackout Kick, Keg Smash, and then it would be back again. Blackout Kick, Breath of Fire, Blackout Kick, something else. You'd be getting like all the Blackout Combo bonuses over and over and over again very rapidly. So I think that there is a potential here to change your build as a Brewmaster Monk, and Blackout Kick is a very strong ability anyway, and it has all these implications to your talent tree. So there's a lot of really cool things going on here. Blackout Kick is also a completely free ability, and it can reduce obviously your stagger, and it gives you your brews, I believe, right? Just baseline. Yeah, it grants Shuffle for 3 seconds, right? Which is really good. That increases the effectiveness of your stagger by 100%. So there's like a million implications, right, for Blackout Kick, and having this set I think is very, very good. So I'm going to put Brewmaster in the good section here. It's going to go above Demon Hunter. I think it's better than the Demon Hunter set. I don't think it's the best sets in the game. You can see which ones are coming, but I would say that it's very, very good. I don't know all of the potential implications here of this, but I think this 4-piece bonus is actually much stronger than you might think it is at a first glance, just because of how many things Blackout Kick interacts with, how many talents Blackout Kick actually interacts with. Could be really good. And getting Fort Brew for 6 seconds is solid. That is really solid. Very, very good. Again, depends how much Luck of the Draw activates. Okay, let's move on to Paladin. Parat Paladin, okay? Each time you take damage, Luck of the Draw, causing you to activate Guardian of Ancient Kings for 4 seconds. That's completely crazy, right? That's 50% damage reduction. Very, very good. 4 seconds is probably actually fair for Guardian of Ancient Kings, although Survival Instincts is the same for Bear, so maybe it should be longer. I don't know. Okay, 15% more damage. While you have Luck of the Draw, Shield of the Righteous refunds 1 to 3 Holy Power. 1 to 3 Holy Power, and extends the duration of Luck of the Draw, which is your Guardian of Ancient Kings proc, by 0.5 seconds up to 10 seconds. So you can proc Guardian of Ancient Kings and then keep it going for up to 10 additional seconds. That's insane. That is so strong. So strong to have Guardian of Ancient Kings procced for that long. Also, Shield of the Righteous always refunds at least one holy power while you have Luck of the Draw active. So this is really strong in my opinion. I think this is maybe one of the strongest ones in here. Primarily because, again, Guardian of Ancient Kings, that's 50% damage reduction. Anytime you can get holy power refunding to your character as a paladin, it is incredibly strong. Holy power is one of the more limiting resources in the game, one of the most limiting resources in the game, because it requires 3 GCDs to produce 3 holy power. Now, there's a lot of exceptions to this, like Divine Toll gives you a bunch, and right, I understand that. I'm just saying, on average, it takes 3 GCDs. I have to do Crusader Strike, Judgment, Crusader Strike, and then I have 3 holy power, and then I can use one of my spenders. This just completely negates that and says, you know what? While you have Luck of the Draw active, your Shield of the Righteous is going to refund. It could refund the entire ability, which is nuts, by the way. You can cast Shield of the Righteous, you get a refund. Cast it again, you get another refund. Cast it again. Maybe you get a proc of Divine Purpose. Cast it again. Like, you could just start stacking it up over and over and over again. And if you do, you can keep, you can be proccing things like Grand Crusader. You can get every 3 Shield of the Righteous, make sure Word of Glory costs no holy power. Every time you cast Shield of the Righteous, you increase your strength and your stamina by 2%. You also have the proc down here, Bulwark of Righteous Fury. I mean, there's a bunch of synergistic things going on there, but just getting a refund on holy power is a completely busted mechanic for any paladin spec at all, and it's just very, very strong. So this is a really good tier set bonus. I'm going to put it up here. I think it's one of the best ones so far, and it just depends how much holy power you end up getting refunded, I guess. But even extending Guardian of Ancient Kings is also insane. And basically, every time you press Shield of the Righteous with Luck of the Draw, it's only ever going to cost you 2 holy power baseline, because it always refunds 1 holy power. So this is going to dramatically change how it feels to play prop paladin, and it's going to feel really good. Okay, let's get to warrior. Last one. Prop warrior. Your spells and abilities have a chance to activate winning. That's the wrong one. Every time you take damage, you have a chance to get Luck of the Draw, causing you to cast Shield Wall for 4 seconds. Again, about a 50% DR on Shield Wall. All right. 40% DR baseline. Okay, for 4 seconds, your damage done is increased by 15%. During Luck of the Draw, Shield Slam's chance to critically strike is increased by 50%, and its critical strikes reduce the cooldown of shield charge by 6 seconds. So, first of all, I think this should be a little bit longer. It should be 5-6 seconds, right? Unless Luck of the Draw is proccing every, again, 10 to 15 seconds. But during the Luck of the Draw, when you get that shield wall for free, you get 50% crit on your shield slam, and its crits reduce the cooldown of shield charge. This is really, really, really strong, okay? I'm going to tell you why. Let's just type in shield slam here. Oh, look at that. There's a million talents that synergize with it. So every time you press shield slam, you're getting a million different things that happen. Number one, you're increasing the damage of shield slam and your block value, okay? You could use shield slam to generate more rage and extend the duration of shield block by 1 second, which is really good. I think at this point in the expansion, Into the Fray is probably less necessary for prop warriors because they already have a bunch of haste. You could build a bunch of haste if you want to. I'm not saying you have to get rid of Into the Fray. I know it's an amazing talent. I'm just saying heavy repercussions could be really good here. Then shield slam generates more rage and reduces the remaining cooldown of shield a wall by 6 seconds. You're getting obviously CDR, which is really, really good. And then in here, your lightning strikes from Mountain Thane have a chance to give you 2 shield slams with no cooldown. Imagine if you just have the Luck of the Draw procced and you just go shield slam, and they both crit, and those crits just obviously proc all these other things. They do a crazy amount of extra damage, which is really, really good. And what was the thing of here? And of course, sorry, I was thinking about crit. The crit actually doesn't matter. But you're getting shield charge CDR, which is really insane. So if you crit with your shield slams, you're reducing the cooldown of shield charge when your Luck of the Draw is active. Shield charge is only a 45-second cooldown, guys. So this is amazing. Your shield charge gives you shield block, right? Right here, if you take Champion's Bulwark, it does a bunch of extra damage. It stuns enemies for 4 seconds, stuns the primary dragon. It generates 20 rage. Like, there's a cycle here where you're getting those shield slams. They're doing a bunch of extra damage. They're critting. They're reducing the cooldown of shield charge. Every time you hit shield slam, you're getting extra strength, extra block. You're reducing the cooldown of shield wall, and then you're reducing the cooldown now of shield charge because of the tier set bonus. And then you're shield charging more often, which generates more rage, which gives you free shield blocks. I mean, there's just like so many synergistic things going on here with the warrior tier set. I think it's one of the best ones, if not the best one in the game. I would put it right up here. I think it's slightly behind the Paladin one or on par with the Paladin one, but I'm going to put them this way for now. I think that this is just like really strong compared to some of the other 4-piece bonuses that the tanks are getting, specifically like the Druid one, which is a little weird, and the Blood Decay one. Compare this 4-piece bonus and the Prot Paladin 4-piece bonus to the Blood Decay one, like Guardian of Ancient Kings being extended right here, sorry, and refunding Holy Power versus like your Death Strike potentially cleaving, doing extra damage, potentially healing you, but only having its runic power cost reduced by by 2 is just really, really terrible. So bottom line, I think this is really strong. Getting shield charge back is really strong, and this is where my tanks have landed, okay? So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, remember, this was to generate discussion. This is my initial feedback to Blizzard on where I think the tier set bonuses are landing. I think the Blood Decay one needs a lot of work. I think the Guardian Druid tier set bonus needs some clarification. We need to know what abilities are actually going to be cast by this sort of like mini convoke that we're getting. And we need a lot of clarification on that. And then the other ones are actually in a pretty good state. I think the Monk and the Demon Hunter one are actually fine. They could use a little bit of love, but really they're probably fine the way they are. And then the Paladin and Warrior one are, of course, very strong. So I think heading into Season 2, this is kind of what we're looking at. Depending on what Blizzard wants to do and the changes that they're going to make, again, we still have about a month and a half before this patch goes live, before Season 2 goes live. And so there's lots of changes that are probably going to happen. These are just my initial impressions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.